I think it's a good opportunity for all of us too to really look at those themes. I know there's a lot of times, just like we talked about earlier, I'm not in the classroom every day. And so this is also an opportunity for me to learn and look at those themes and the things that we can then provide support. And so I really want this to not only support our teachers, but guide us in our decision making as far as how can we help them district-wide, or what kinds of resources can I then provide where I might think they need something, but that's not truly what they need. And so I hope it's an opportunity for me to listen and learn as well, so that I can guide some of those decisions more appropriately.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Brighter Together podcast. My name is Janet Courtney, and I am so excited about this episode that we are about to record. Today, I have two lovely educators that are here. Dr. Ashley Kolb is the Director of Pupil Services, and Dr. Valerie Hurm is the Director of Special Education at Neenah Joint School District, and that's in Neenah, Wisconsin. Ladies, thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Awesome. So we agreed beforehand, we're going to let Ashley start. So Ashley, if you can give us a little bit about Neenah and about what you guys are doing, kind of give us the 10,000 foot, and then we'll go down from there. How's that sound?
That sounds great. As you said, I'm Dr. Ashley Kolb. A year ago, I received my doctorate, and I've always been really passionate about the work that I do. I started off teaching students with autism. So before the show, we were talking about we're always who we started as, or who our teacher. So this has kind of come full circle. I work with my colleague, and I'm so thankful to work with her. And we are trying to tackle, and the question that I had, and maybe it was like a little bit of self-discovery, what makes special ed teachers stay? For all of the challenges and the hard parts of the work, and a lot of what I do is on the mental health side. My master's degree is in counseling. I see what our staff go through. I see the challenges that they face every day, the asks on the curricular side. And so that was really my dissertation and my work. And although sometimes people look at a dissertation as just completing the process and getting the title, it was more of a passion of figuring out the actual answer. And so the work continues. And I found someone in my colleague that felt the same way about her work. And luckily our topics and our themes were actually the same. And so we're putting together a project just to see how can we make our staff stay. Based on the study that I did and the research that I found, this theory we're trying to put into action and see if it can affect our own school district. And what I know from the research is it would be cost beneficial to do this. It would be such a great opportunity for the students and the parents, and just our staff knowing that they're supported and they have each other, and strengthening that is really the focus and the hope. So I'll pass it off to Dr. Hurm now.
Yes, I'm Dr. Valerie Hurm, and I was a little behind Dr. Kolb, but I just completed mine, at the start of the school year. But my work certainly supported the work that she had done as well. Hers were on why special education teachers stayed. Mine was more focused on how do you develop, or how do you choose professional development for special education teachers, or any teachers that are teaching students with special education needs. And so we found that when we sat and worked together, that they really went hand in hand with each other. Some of the big reasons that teachers stay are when they're feeling supported and that professional development is provided, where mine was more targeted to what type of professional development and how do we determine what they need. It really was set up as more of a triage situation. We all know, as a special education teacher myself at some point in my career, that you don't know what's coming through your door necessarily all the time. It's really
changes every year, right?
Sometimes daily, right?
Yeah.
So we don't know And so it's really difficult to like choose one coined system that is going to provide the professional development for your entire district. And so our challenge was to come up with something that did not only support teachers and their needs, but also provided that kind of triage system of I need to provide you the professional development that you need when you need it, and what that needs to look like really on an individual school basis, an individual classroom basis, and how we would make that work. So Dr. Kolb and I sat down together just through many, many conversations and came up with a system that we feel like meets both of our um, research bases and really gives the teachers the support that they need on both ends. Um, and so do you want to talk about what that system looks like?
Yes, please. I want to hear about it. I'm excited to hear
I am
because
too.
boy,
We
this
both
is,
have kind of our
yeah.
spot in it, but I'll
Yeah,
let Ashley start.
absolutely. Absolutely. And it's just so, let me just say really quick, man, this is exactly what we need, to keep the amazing people that we have. So, love that you guys are doing this, and the kids win when,
Yes.
I'll always go back to the kids. The kids win when the teachers stay and when you have teachers that feel like they're being supported. So yeah, Ashley, tell us about it.
All right. So we partnered with just a local establishment that actually one of our teachers owns. They have an upstairs venue where we put on once a month. We call it a tier 1 behavior support. But the experience is that any staff can come. We have experienced staff on hand, we have ourselves, but they experience a coaching triad where we have protocols to walk through whatever behavior situation they're going through so that they can really sit down and process with someone else the things that they've tried and established and done in kind of a non-judgmental place. From there, we can problem solve and try and figure out in-house how do we support that teacher past that. Like they're going to set a goal, but if it's about going to observe another school or having the time to we always have manipulatives in special ed or things that we have to create, how do we make sure that we as directors, as coordinators, as an entire district are giving the opportunity for those things to happen so that they can be successful. The effort to have it off site was really to kind of take down the pressure of it feeling like work and having it be more about networking. So a part of my research was about those professional support networks and teachers that maybe work at a different school, but they don't know each other well, or they have different experiences that they can add, but they have a new connection. So from the upstairs site, we can go and socialize downstairs and just get to know each other better. Because as directors, we know everyone in the district. We know how amazing they are. They don't always interact in that way. So we were trying to strengthen networks of people, of support, and of experience that has previously been there. And then from that, from the director kind of coordinator side, we wanted to listen to the feedback and kind of be in the room monitoring what are the themes that are coming out. For example, we had a really hard kindergarten group this year. So if you can predict it, you can prevent it. Are we going to anticipate kindergarten's going to be hard next year? So what are some things we can anticipate and put in place? But if that still isn't meeting the mark and they're needing more support, then it would rise up to the level that Dr. Hurm has and really supporting and doing that professional learning. So maybe talk about the tier 2 side of it.
Absolutely. So once they've tried the interventions and the things that their coaching triad has helped and assisted with, if they feel like it still isn't enough, like I'm still stuck, I still feel like I need additional support, then I have a team of very carefully selected some of them are special education teachers. Some of them are speech therapists. It's just a team of people that are very good at their area. So we tried to have somebody from a secondary level that is like in a resource setting, somebody that's in more of a crosscat setting at every level, so that there's somebody that's really kind of an expert in their area that have many years of experience,
Right.
things like that. So then if they've said, I need more, then it reaches that level. So then we wrap around them as a group and we provide opportunities for mentoring, observations. So we may have a teacher go into their classroom, do some observations, have that teacher then go into the classroom that that teacher currently teaches, and really a gradual release program. So if we say, I think let's try a token economy or a system, then that teacher may go in and actually teach the other teacher how to use it, what it looks
Right.
like with the student that they're struggling with, or the group of students they're struggling with, until they're ready to take that on. And so it's really been um, so far a very effective form, and then they of communication, of training, and then they feel supported, but they also make a connection with the teacher that they may not have under different circumstances, and so now they have yet another resource or another tool in
Right.
their
Yeah.
tool bag.
Well, and two things just really quick. One, I love the fact that you took it offsite. Offsite is so just that struck me right off the bat, because it's like you take the pressure of the school and of feeling like I have to be perfect off of them when you do that. So I love the fact that you guys have done that. And secondly, when you get to tier 2, and this gives me chills, I love this, is implementation. You know, how many times have we gone to a professional development or to a conference and we go, "Oh, that's so cool. Oh, that's so neat. Oh, I think I'll be able to implement that." And then you get back and you go, I don't know if I can do it, or, oh, I don't,
Mm.
that you lose confidence because you don't have that expert right in front of you telling you, yes, encouraging you, yes, you can do
Mm-hmm.
this, yes, you can make it work. So having somebody come and walk alongside them, that's beautiful. Love it. Love it.
You.
I really think coaching is at the heart of all of this, like people really uncovering what works for them, and we're trying to teach some of our people that are in that mentorship. You have the experience that worked for you, but it might not work in this situation, or they might be
Mm-hmm.
bringing different strengths um, to it that just makes it that much better. But coaching is the model through and through that we're really hoping for.
And those nuances of that particular classroom or that
Yes.
particular disability that it's being affected by it or whatever. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I think the
Awesome.
team members are truly learning from each other as well. Even when we all sit down I've learned so much just myself listening to them coach each other, right? Because they've all come from such different backgrounds and have just different levels of expertise. And so it's been really eye opening to see all of that come together. And so it's
Yep.
really that internal professional development, and then building those relationships with their peers and parents. I mean, I would love to see this expand into, because another part of mine was really involving other stakeholders as well. You really could bring in, oh, so if I can spit it out today, administrators, parents, um, different organizations, maybe a Boys and Girls Club that would like some support. And so it really is an opportunity for growth to provide that support for all stakeholders, not just teachers.
Yeah, yeah, and the principles are the same, but
Mhm.
you're doing it just yeah, expanding it beyond. So, a question I have, and I don't know, like, what are first of all, what is the size of your district? Like, is this something that, like, would you recommend this for a particular size of district? Like, or I can see naysayers go, "Oh, that's great for them, but we're tiny and that would never work for us," and
Mhm.
blah blah blah. So, just speak a little bit to that for me, if you wouldn't mind.
So I would say in this state, excuse me, we're probably like a medium-sized district. Our high school and middle school have 2,000 kids in each
Hmm.
one. Um, so I think that it honestly would work in any capacity because the premise of at least tier 1 is the coaching triad. So truly you need 3 people. And you just set up the protocol for how the one person is prompting and questioning and asking questions at the right time, but it's really working out those listening skills and almost that motivational interviewing that gets where we want it to go. I mean, that's kind of the premise of what we're wanting. And then the third person is the encourager, kind of that third eye that might ask questions at the time to encourage the conversation as well. I've experienced it in the past, and I know Val has too. And we just thought that would be the right tool or the mechanism to kind of reach as many people as we want. And then if there's people that come that there's a large group, but only one person has a problem they want to work out, then we could do a Socratic circle and have a large group on the outside and then that person in the middle with a couple of people. So we've definitely thought through that and we're ready for as small or as large as we can go. I think the one thing that I keep thinking of is like how to be as timely as we can to when the problems arise, because I know it feels so urgent. So that's the part that we're doing these cycles once a month. We just began the other day and there was only a few people that came, which was great. The word is spreading, hopefully, that this is a great opportunity. Our principals were really on board. But I want it to be that safe space that they can come, and I want it to be as timely as we can make it so that they feel like they're not waiting too long to find this as a opportunity. So
yeah, and when you have that really bad day, there's somebody that I can go, oh, this happened today. How do I help me figure out how to fix it, right?
yes. And that's really, I hope that networking of people also comes into that.
Yeah.
That's what builds off of coming to this opportunity and experience is like, oh, I know they talked about this. I can reach out to them.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And then my background is I talked about this prior to our meeting, but I did move here from Wyoming. And within Wyoming are some very, very small districts. And I know one of the things that they've talked about, because you might be the only special education teacher in your district or even in their, an area.
Right.
And so what they did to combat some of that is think goodness for virtual options that you really could have this same triad with other districts or other teachers within districts. And so I really don't think that there are any limitations to size. You may just have to get creative and think outside the box as far as can I partner with 3 or 4 other districts that maybe have some expertise in those areas and meet monthly and really expand that networking if they're so tiny that they don't have the resources that some of the bigger districts would have.
We all feel it. Students are struggling more than ever with emotional and behavioral challenges. Lighthouse Therapy offers virtual, hybrid, and in-person behavioral and mental health support that builds around your school environment. Our licensed professionals are trauma-informed, experienced, and trained to work with K-12 students and staff. You don't get a cookie-cutter approach. You get a partner who listens, adapts, and builds trust. Because when students feel safe and seen, they thrive. Learn how you can get support at your school at lighthouse-therapy.com/brighter together. So for this program, I'm assuming you have support from your admin team, and is there funding? Is there some funding that you're having to tap into? How is that? Because that's always the issue. I don't have any money,
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I'll talk a little bit about my part because funding is always a conversation when we talk about professional development and things like that. So I do offer the team of mentors that do, because it's a tremendous amount of work outside of their normal day. I do offer them a small stipend for their time. And we've found other ways, and I'll let Dr. Kolb talk about, there's some other ways that that aren't necessarily attached to money that encourage them to attend. And if they've attended, then they can have some other options within their building. So I'll let Dr. Kolb talk about those things.
Yeah, so being creative with money is the name of the game when you don't have any. So
Yep.
that's where, when we took it off site, it was someone we knew that is in our district. She's an amazing math coach at our middle school, and she let us use that space for free. We just purchased some snacks because food always brings people in
Oh, yeah.
too, and
Yep. Yep.
we really wanted people to feel like professionals and that they have the professional support. The other thing we tried to do too is, if you participate, we'll trade time for time. So it would be an opportunity to leave early on Friday, or, an opportunity to work with our principals to support this effort to come a little late, or, just the support from our principals to say, hey, if they want to go and observe another classroom that would build their capacity, could you allow that and make sure that that happens? And everyone's been so supportive. What Dr. Hurm reminds me of is this district coming into it. She said, everybody's so excited and willing to learn. And sometimes we get bogged down with the stuff of our jobs, but it's such an awesome reminder that we do have some people that want to do really great things for kids, and they're very supportive of our passion projects.
Yeah. And it ultimately, for them, for admin, for people like me, it's like
Yeah.
turnover costs. There's a cost for turnover. And it's not just there's a financial cost, obviously, but there's also, we talked a little bit about the cost to the kids, and the cost to the families, and the cost to the schools, and how difficult it is when you can't even find anybody to fill that hole.
Correct.
And so, it's a win when you it's better to put a little bit of money into this thing than having to spend the money to replace that person. So it's a smart move if you can get it to work and make it be successful. And have you guys given it a name? Do you have like a name for your program?
Oh God. We have I think we called it just a behavior support framework at this point,
Okay.
and kind of a two-tiered behavior support framework. At first, it really was just focused on special education based on our dissertation. But what we found is that sometimes it's not just the special education teacher that is struggling with
Oh,
behaviors.
yeah.
It's our classroom teachers that are maybe dealing with or handling different students. So at the tier 1 level, we really opened that up and made sure that anyone that really needed that support could access that. So we're excited for the future and spreading the word. And I think principals are excited to have something to offer to teachers,
Yeah.
to say, hey, you should check this out. This would be a really great opportunity. Or you're new to Nina, like, go and network and just kind of get to know what's available and who can support you. Because when you're interviewing candidates, that's usually one of the questions they ask coming in is, would I have a mentor and who's going to support me? Almost every single time. So to have something now that we can say, we have all of the things that typically happen, and we have these great networks that will get you involved in. So
Yeah. At Lighthouse, we have everybody gets a mentor. You come here. It can be isolating if you're a virtual therapist, and, feeling like you're on an island all by yourself. Even though you're interacting with kids and people all day long, it still can feel that way sometimes. And so having somebody that we always tell our therapists, and our teachers now, because we are doing some sped teacher stuff, is there's no stupid question. The only stupid question is the one that you don't ask. So ask questions, make sure.
Yes.
And that's why we give you a mentor. So you have somebody that I've had great mentors in the past. I went from skilled nursing and medical back into education, at one point in my career, and I've kind of hopped back and forth. I can now happily say I've done more education than I did medical. But that switch made me feel like a new therapist all over again. I was like, God, I've been a therapist for 18 years and I don't know how to do this. This is ridiculous, or whatever. I don't remember how long it was, but you know what I mean? And you just feel like, I don't want to ask somebody because I don't want them to think that I don't know what I'm doing. Right. That feeling.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
So having that is cool. Yeah.
Well,
I'm
and it
sorry, go ahead.
provides it provides that mentorship too this program provides that mentorship, at least those relationships and that opportunity for question. Even if I have been I a teacher for 20 years, I might have a student that comes into my classroom, and we typically in education set up mentors for those new people. But what about the people that are like, I've done this for a long time and I don't know what to do? And so
Yeah.
this really provides that opportunity for them as well. It doesn't matter how many years they've been in it. They they're all more than welcome to attend and just gain those ideas and interventions and things to try.
And in a way that doesn't make them feel like, gosh, I'm at school. I need to,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. Open up, give them an opportunity to open up in a much more relaxed setting. Is I think that's a big piece of the success that you guys are going to see is that piece right there. So awesome, awesome. So
Yeah.
so what is next for you ladies? Where does this go? Where do we go from here?
I think from my perspective, just the rollout of trying it. So, like I said, we just had our first offering of this. Word is starting to spread. We hope to have more opportunities for our staff to kind of see the benefits of this experience. So, by the end of the year, we'll hopefully have 5 different sessions that we can look at and reflect on. Um, if there's a need for more, we would love to do more. We would love the community support to see if we can have funding. And that was our big dream in the beginning when we were really brainstorming. We're like, and what if we could have community partners that would understand, how important special ed is, and they would provide funding so that we could make our staff feel even more prize.
Mm-hmm.
Like we just
Yeah.
went and went and went. It was really
Dream big.
fun.
You have
So
to.
we are
Absolutely. Yeah.
starting small but dreaming big. So,
Yeah.
what else are you, Dr. Herm?
Well, and I think it's a good opportunity for all of us too to really look at those themes. I know there's a lot of times, just like we talked about earlier, I'm not in the classroom every day, and so
Yeah.
this is also an opportunity for me to learn and look at those themes and the things that we can then provide support. And so I really want this to not only support our teachers but guide us in our decision making as far as what how can we help them district wide, or what kinds of resources can I then provide where I might think they need something but that's not truly what they need. And so I hope it's an opportunity for me to listen and learn as well so that I can guide some of those decisions more appropriately.
And
Fantastic.
actually, the other day, for our first event, so it was a middle school special ed teacher and a behaviorist from our elementary school, and she said essentially that, like, when we're out of the classroom, we don't have that experience, so they really look to other people that are in it to get that advice. She's like, yeah, we love you, but we want to take advice from other people. And then they just started talking
Yeah.
and they were sharing resources. And she goes, see, that's why we come, because there were ideas that they were doing that just automatically sparks that. So we're creating the environment and the space, and that's all you need for this magic to happen and hopefully set them up in a really successful way.
Yeah, because teachers care. Teachers
Yeah.
want to help their kids. Teachers
Yep.
are teachers because it's a calling. It's a gift that they've been
Yes.
given. It's amazing. And to get them together and know that they've got other people that support them, and the fact that you guys are doing this from a perspective of a leader, and it shows that that you value them, that Lighthouse Therapy is our mission is to be a therapy company run by therapists for therapists for the betterment of students, and that by therapist piece, by my leadership team, by the
Mm-hmm.
people that care and make the decisions, that's a critical piece of it. And it has brought success. It has brought stability for us. We as a company have an 80% retention rate in our therapists. That's
Wow.
like amazing. But
Yes, it is.
it doesn't come just because we sat on our laurels and hired people and said, hey, we're therapists, come work for us. It
Yeah.
doesn't work that way. You still have to support them. You still have to put your money where your mouth is, especially when you have a mission like that. And you
Yeah.
guys are missional as well. You're working towards keeping those, and I don't know if it's defined that way for you, but that's what I see. You know, I see you guys really are doing something that is going to help continue to keep people in a position. And again, like I've said 3 times already, the kids win. That's what we want. We want the kids to win. So fantastic. So where, ladies, do people go? Because now we've sparked interest. I know there are other people that go, oh, that's it. I want to do that. That's amazing. I want to make sure that my team has that. So where do they go? Where do they go to find you guys and pick your brains? Because, you know, you guys are going to be mentors for others as well.
Well, that's awesome. I would say we have our district website. You can find our names and contact information. I think there's a little tab there. Nina, spelled Neeenah. We always get that confused when we're telling people where we are. But from there, we would be super happy to mentor and help. I know with Val's experience in another state, I mean, there's a lot of networking and experiences. We would love to spread the word and help, and kind of the same idea. Like, we make iron sharpens iron, and we would love to learn from other people too. And whatever we can provide and do, we would love to. Or if there's other ideas to make ours better, I would I would love that.
Yeah, yes. I love that you guys are open to other ideas as well. That's a beautiful thing about educators and about people that are administrators in education and teachers as well. We just share. You guys,
there's no gatekeeping.
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I'd love to see. I have a feeling that this is something that's going to grow and grow and grow. I'd love to see you guys present this at a national conference somewhere. And if you do, I need to get an invitation. So
you
if
absolutely
that's something that's in your
would.
future, you need to let me know. So because it's key to keeping and supporting and growing human beings, and that's what we're all about. We're brighter together, right?
We are brighter together.
Well, ladies, thank you so much for being on the show. Thank you for sharing your heart and your passion, and just keep it up. I'm proud of what you're doing, and I'm excited for it. So
thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for having us.
You bet. Take care.